Welcome, everyone. I'm so delighted to be here with you today for this week's Priestess transmission, Priestess Rise Up transmission. I want to be very authentic and transparent and say that I did not sleep very well the last 2 nights. So I'm tired, but so happy to be here with you. And if I yawn, which I hope I don't, because it's not very attractive to yawn on these, I've realized. That please, it is not because I am bored in any way. It's because I've been on this amazing journey since last Friday. And I'm just delighted to be here with you today to gather together and to co create this sacred space, right? Because what are these weekly transmissions about? They are about your priestess path, your path of becoming, no, better said, remembering, right? Remembering your sacred mission, which always involves being a channel of divine love for the world, of unconditional love for the world. Last week, I think it was, oh, my sense of time is totally off. I started my priestess training, meaning like facilitating with these amazing women. And the first class was all about remembering who you are, remembering, releasing the veils of amnesia, releasing the blocks, the trauma, the wounds that keep us from remembering your divine mission. And so this is what gathering together is about, is for you to remember. So if you're here, I would love to see who you are, and feel free to write your name in the chat or share where you're from. And if you're watching the replay, please feel free to add that in the comments. So today I want to talk about going inward when things are feeling chaotic or in crisis or stressful, or perhaps there's like a health issue. So all of those things that can trigger, just so interesting, right? So as I've been dealing with, so last Friday I went to Phoenix, Arizona for this amazing weekend full of priestessing, of ceremony, of equine therapy. I got back and kind of jumped right into some pretty intense stuff that was unfolding, and then proceeded to have 2 nights of not sleeping, right? So I was very physically tired and feeling somewhat out of sorts because I literally haven't even unpacked my bags yet. That is very unlike me. But just because of all of these things that were unfolding. And what I started noticing for myself was that in this fatigue and tiredness and even like worry and all of that, rather than going inward, I was finding myself almost in this kind of crazy way, this urgent way, trying to search for things outside of me to help me. And I was really eventually paused and was like, why is that? Why? And because if anything, if there's ever a powerful time to go inward, it is when we are suffering, when there is some sort of crisis. That is the time, right? It's like when people say they don't have time to meditate because things are so stressful or so busy, and it's like, wait, that's exactly when you're meant to meditate. And I have no judgment because I totally understand that. And so there is this what do we want to call it, false programming in the collective, right? There's this separation programming. I know people call it the false matrix or fallen matrix or all of these things. And I like to kind of bring it into a more neutral place while still naming it, right? There is this this programming, this blueprint in the collective. And I like to call it separation blueprint because it's trying to separate, right? It's separating us from the truth of who we are, separating us from each other, creating polarity, creating wars. It's all of this separation. And one of them in particular, this blueprint that I sense energetically, is this blueprint that this programming that almost like injects our system to believe that when we're in crisis or when we're suffering or when we're really tired or when we're feeling sick or any of the things, that the first thing we do is go outside of ourselves, right? And depending on where you are in your spiritual journey, that might feel very true, or you might recognize, well, I've practiced so much going inward that a lot of times I do choose to go inward. But if you are human, there's still going to be times when you get caught in that. And for me, one of the times when that happens the most is when I'm tired. Like, I notice that when I'm tired, it's almost like this separation blueprint somehow has me forget that if I go inward, I could actually receive not just nurturing, but that I could receive vitality. And it's almost like when I've for many, many years go off and on with periods of insomnia. So I think for me, it brings up a little bit of trauma because if you've ever had insomnia, it's one of the most painful things to be so tired and not be able to sleep. And so what happens to me when I haven't slept, it's almost like this trauma response of like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And yet the most important thing, which is for me to pause and go inwards and receive guidance, I don't do. I mean, eventually I do, but it's not the first place I go. So I want to invite you, if you're watching this, to notice where that is for you. What is the thing that happens on your path that totally just kind of hooks you into like not going inward? Maybe for you, it's not being tired. It's not about fatigue. Maybe for you, it's when you start worrying about money or when relationship things come up or whatever it is. We all have a place where it's a situation where you actually need to plug in and receive from your source. But rather than doing that first, you try to find it externally. And maybe you try to find it externally with things that seem very healthy. It doesn't have to be like sugar or alcohol or anything like that. It might be that you want to go do something with your crystals or pull an oracle card or things like that. And those things aren't bad. But what we're remembering on the priestess path is that first and foremost, the way you channel unconditional love is by having a devoted, committed practice of connecting with source within you, with your true self, connecting with that divine sacred being that you are, letting yourself receive that unconditional love. And from that place, then it overflows. And so as I was preparing for this, my mind was going all over the place. And I was like, should I take this tea or do this? Hey, Jill, so glad you're here. And really the guidance was like, sit on your meditation cushion. And I think there was a part of me that was worried that if I did that, I would just feel more tired, right? It's almost like, oh, if I let myself sit down, and I'm going to really feel how tired I am. But that's just a part of me that thinks that. Because what happened is I went inside and I connected with the master within me, just as you have your master within you. My whole body started to like relax, and not relax as in collapse, right? Relax is different than collapse. I think my parts felt, I'm going to collapse if I sit on my meditation cushion. But my body actually started to relax, to soften, and to allow myself to receive my soul, my mastery within me, that light, that nurturing. And then really the teaching that was going to come forth to share with you today, because it wasn't even in my mind to share this. So this is one of those priestess practices that we must absolutely do. It's, when I started in the beginning talking about the priestess training that I just began, teaching, Jill is one of the wonderful participants, priestesses in the group. And I started talking about remembering, right? Remembering who you are, remembering the truth of who you are. And what that includes is remembering your divine technology, remembering your sacred tools. And what is one of the most important ones, if not the most important one, is to be the tool of knowing that I first and foremost go within, and I am fed from within. And from that place, then I will know if, there's something I can eat that will be helpful for me to do right now, or if there's a practice that will be helpful to do that will help me as I, integrate everything that's unfolding. And so It's so simple, and yet it is a radical act because the world, right? That's, remember, I started talking about, and I'm going to be talking about this more in these transmissions, that separation template that exists in the world that has a strong pull, and it wants to keep us separate from our divinity. So when I say it is a radical revolutionary act to go within, I'm not saying that to be dramatic or to just get your attention. It literally is, because there's so much kind of almost this gravitational pull to not do that. So when you have the courage and the commitment, because it does require commitment, it's not about being perfect, it's just committing and knowing, like, oh, sometimes you'll get caught up in that separation programming. That's okay, but you come back. So every time you do that, what are you doing? Not only are you supporting yourself, strengthening that muscle, you're creating, what happens then is that you're part of creating the new template, the true matrix of unity consciousness, which is the opposite of separation. So that's how powerful this practice is. And so when we go into ceremony today together, we're going to practice entering that place. And there's many words for it: your soul, your higher self. You might have different ways. Today I'm really feeling the master within, remembering that we are all these divine masters, right? These ascended masters in training. But what does that actually mean? It actually means you have that ascended master within you. And yet we're here living this human life where everything tells us we're not that, where everything tells us we're not worthy, we have lack, we have scarcity, all of this stuff. And yet we are taking this courageous human journey, and this is what this priestess path is about, to remember, oh wait, I am a master, not from this conceited, egotistical way. That's again, remember, that's the separation agenda. We're talking about unity consciousness. So stepping into mastery means that you are committed to not only remembering your divinity, but remembering everyone else's. It's not, I'm a master up here and there's the lowly people. No, it's like, oh, I'm a master. This master is within me. And everyone I look at, everyone I see, regardless of whatever role they're playing, is a master within themselves as well. And so I want to be explicit about that so that you can understand the importance of this. So it's not just like, oh yeah, cool, it would be nice to go inside. That's a really nice mindfulness practice. It's so much more than mindfulness. This is literally creating a new template, a new blueprint. And that's what the priestess movement is about. And so I want to remind you, next week when I do this Mother Mary, hey Zoe, oh, you're so exciting. Anyway, hi Zoe. I want to remind you that next week when I do my first new offering, this Mother Mary Planetary healing class, that's what we're going to talk about. Is like, how do you remember your priestess medicine, practice it, commit to it, and at the same time simultaneously be priestessing the planet through creating this new blueprint, through creating these new templates, and through infusing the grid lines and the ley lines with this energy of unconditional love. Because that's what this is about. This is what the priestess movement is about. It isn't about calling yourself a priestess or wearing priestessy clothes. All those are awesome. I love wearing priestessy clothes. And I've now embraced the word priestess, even though at first it triggered the heck out of me. And it's really about that you are here to remember the truth of who you are. You are here to master that going within to receive, especially when it's hard. So like I said, being fatigued, it was incredibly hard to go with it. I was really surprised when I allowed myself to be curious. I was like, wow, this is really interesting how much resistance I have to stopping and going within. And I realized, yeah, it was all my parts, but it's also that separation agenda, right? It's that separation programming that doesn't want me to come back into unity with source. And so every time we choose to come back into unity, we're creating the new blueprint. It is radical, it is revolutionary, it is not just mindfulness. And I have nothing against mindfulness. That's a very powerful word, powerful teaching, but I want to elevate that. There's not just that. It's like we are creating the new paradigm. We're birthing the new earth. Hello, Claire. So good to see you. Claire's also one of the priestesses in the priestess level 1 training. Okay, so we're going to go into ceremony. Let's do this together. And I want to show you the priestess card. And I've picked this one before for this, but look at how perfect. Look at this priestess. There she is leaning on this tree. Her hand is literally radiating this beam of love and light. Look at this. And I love this image because she's so grounded, right? As she leans on this beautiful tree, I can just tell her feet are firm on the earth. And she's also channeling this divine light. I feel like this perfectly captures this priestess movement, right? Our priestess path. And so we're going to step into ceremony to connect with the master within us. And we're going to do that together with you here live and those of you who are catching the replay. And so I invite everyone to take some nice cleansing breaths. And just really give yourself permission to feel everything. To feel everything that your body's feeling right now. So it might be fatigue, or it might be nervousness, or you might feel a lot of joy, or perhaps there's sadness. Whatever it is, just let's be courageous together and allow ourselves to notice it. Not buffer, not resist, not try to fix it even. Just notice what is in your space. Just notice. So I'm noticing a lot of energy, just kind of like heaviness, fogginess around the crown of my head, which I really think is just kind of like sleepiness. So I'm noticing that. Just notice, what do you feel? And if you start to notice that you start to disassociate, maybe you start to escape your body. That's very normal, right? It's like a protective energy that's like, oh, no, I don't want to feel what's in my body. Let me escape. I invite you to notice that with compassion and still invite yourself, no, it's okay. I can feel what I'm feeling. I can notice the sensations in my body. And I invite all of us to picture that image, right, that I showed you with the priestess card. Here it is again. And I invite you to see yourself leaning on a tree, just like this beautiful priestess is doing. You're leaning on it. And yes, I love how Zoe's saying that it's powerful and soft at the same time. Yes, so feel that. Feel her strength. So feel your strength. As you now just let yourself visualize, invite a spirit of a tree to come behind you. You're leaning on that tree trunk. Leaning on that tree trunk. And so you notice this tree is so generous. This tree is a master, as all trees are. So generous. And as you lean on this tree, your own mastery within you, the master within you, you start to become more aware of it. Like, oh yeah. In your heart, I invite you to notice. It's okay to use your imagination. A beautiful master within you. And perhaps you see it as a symbol, a flame, a light, a diamond, a crystal. Or perhaps you see it as a being, as you. You just see yourself sitting like, I've been seeing this beautiful being sitting on a lotus flower right in my heart. I don't see her features much, but she's just radiating this beautiful white and pink color, and she's sitting on the lotus flower in my heart. And I know that is the divine master within me. And so, as you're aware, we're going to take a few moments in silence to receive from that master within you. Receive whatever it is you need to receive in this moment, whether it's vitality, healing, reassurance, love, blessing, whatever it is. And so we're going to do this in silence for a few moments. Just let yourself receive. And if you don't know how to receive, just set the intention of, I am willing to receive from the divine master within me. I am willing to receive from the divine master within me. I am willing to receive from the divine master within me. So let's do that together now for a few moments. I encourage you to receive more than you've ever allowed yourself to receive. Just set that intention. I'm willing to receive more than I've ever allowed myself to receive. And as you continue receiving, I invite all of us now to stay in that receptive place, right? We can multitask in a priestess way, not in an ego way, right? We're multidimensional. And so stay in that place, receiving from the master within you. Feel that spirit of the tree behind you, right? That's helping you stay grounded. And now using this image again, right? This image on this priestess card where she's got that light radiating from her hand. Let's do that together. And you could bring your hands out or just visualize that your hands are radiating light out to the planet, out to all of the ley lines, the grid lines, the meridians of Gaia, of Sophia Gaia, of Pachamama, of Mother Earth. And if you don't know anything about grid lines or ley lines, that's okay. Just know you're sending. Notice we can do that simultaneously. In fact, we can only truly do it simultaneously, which is receive the love from within and radiate the love out into the earth. We do that together simultaneously. Receive the light from within and radiate it out to the earth. And I encourage you to just be open. And at the same time, if there's a particular area in the earth, a land, a location that your heart guides you to, just trust that. It might make sense or it might not. But the divine knows. So just let's do that together. We're just radiating that light out to the earth. At the same time, receiving from the master within you. And notice Mother Earth, Sophia Gaia, Pachamama responding. She receives this light that you're radiating. And in return, right, she gives you beautiful light. There's this beautiful cycle. There's this unification. And as we come to a close of this ceremony, ask Mother Earth, ask Pachamama for a message about how you are here to serve her, to support her. Perhaps it comes as a word or a symbol or energy, or you might not hear it now, but it'll become clear to you at the right time. So let's all of us ask for a message from Mother Earth on how you are here to help her. And then receive how she is here to help you. And with that, we bring the palms of our hands together and we thank Mother Earth. Thank the Divine Master within you. Thank this beautiful tree spirit that showed up. Thank each other, everyone here live, everyone who will ever listen to this replay. And also feel all the gratitude coming back towards you. That master within you is grateful to you for your courage, your commitment. And with that, we bow to each other and to our own beautiful heart and close the ceremony with a namaste. Namaste, everyone. So thank you. That was so beautiful. And please know that you will continue to receive guidance. If you want to share anything in the chat of what came to you as far as a message from Mother Earth, of how you're here to support her or how she's here to support you, feel free to share in the chat or in the comments. I would love to hear that. What I saw, it wasn't so much I heard it, I saw an image of this, like she was saying, bring more people to do this, more, gather more priestesses, right? To send this beautiful light to these grid lines, these ley lines. And then when I asked how she's supporting me, it's almost like the ley lines, the grid lines lit up, and it was like she was like, I'm guiding you, right? It's like, I'm guiding you. I don't know, that's what came to me. So I do want to pull a card for everyone before we go, just like one card, and remind you next week. So every Wednesday at 2:30, I'll be here, and next Thursday is the Planetary Healing, Mother Mary Priestess Healing class, the first one. I'm so excited about it. It's really going to go more into everything we talked about now, but really more into why it's important to do this planetary healing, this grid work, this template work of creating this template, new template of unity consciousness. Jill saying, Mother Earth wants me to walk in joy. That makes so much sense, Jill. Yes. Claire, beautiful. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you. So that'll be next week. I do want to say, what was I going to say? Since I don't know if Zoe's still on, but Zoe and I will be doing a special. So Zoe is my soul sister who is in Ireland, and she's the founder of this beautiful company called Eru. And we're going to be doing a special YouTube live together. I think it's November 9th, and it's going to be really talking about bringing in the energies of Our Lady of Guadalupe and Goddess Bridget that they come together to protect our priestess path. So I'm so excited. It's going to be so powerful. I will be sharing that on Facebook, and all of the details will be coming soon, but I wanted to share that with you. Yes, it did. Zoe's saying it felt so reciprocal. That's what I felt. It's almost like every time I would say send her love, it was almost like I couldn't even finish that because already we were receiving it. That's the beauty of this work, right? That's why we do this. So let's pick a card. And actually the unicorns want to speak to us today. So let's do a unicorn card. Oh, November 10th. Okay, thank you, Zoe. It's November 10th when we are going to be doing an awesome gathering. And yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, so let's see. What do the beautiful unicorns and the Pegasus, they've been coming to me so strongly. What is their message for us? All right. Oh my gosh. love this. So it's number 44. Perfect. I am presence. Expand your stellar gateway. I am that I am. Look at this. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous unicorn. And I feel like this unicorn, that's what I have felt as I've connected to them in my meditations. They are presence. They can guide us right into that divine master within us. Right. So I feel that. Look at this gorgeous. Just feel that energy. And this is from Diana Cooper's Magical Unicorns deck. And I should mention that the first one was Priestess of the Light from Sandra Ann Taylor. Okay, anyway, so look at this gorgeous. I am presence. That's what we were entering when you enter that divinity within you, that divine master within you. So welcome these beautiful unicorns, these beautiful loving beings. And thank you so much, everyone. I will see you next week. Tell your friends and family and loved ones and anybody else who you think would really benefit from these transmissions. Spread the word. We're starting a movement. Well, there has been. I've been starting the movement, but it's growing, expanding. Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.